You think staying calm makes you look strong. You think being patient earns you respect. But here's the truth most men never hear. A woman doesn't lose respect for you in one moment. She loses it every time you tolerate something you shouldn't. And by the time you notice it, the dynamic is already out of your control. Stay with me, because this is where everything starts to shift. This is Her Inner Code, where we break down female psychology with precision. No guessing, no illusions, just patterns. And today, we are exposing the one behavior that silently destroys respect in relationships: unchecked tolerance. Let's get one thing clear from the start. Respect is not built on what you say. It's built on what you reinforce. You can communicate your standards all day. I don't like that, that's not okay with me. But in female psychology, words are secondary. Behavior is everything. Because she's not listening to your standards. She's watching your reactions. Every interaction is data. Every response is information. And whether consciously or not, she's tracking one thing. Do your standards actually mean anything? It starts small. A cancelled plan, a dismissive tone, a slight lack of effort. Individually, insignificant, but psychologically, these are tests. Not always intentional, but always revealing. Now watch what most men do here. They notice it, but they minimize it. It's not a big deal. She's just busy. I don't want to overreact. So they stay consistent. They keep investing. They keep showing up unchanged. And in that moment, a silent message is sent. This behavior is acceptable. Not verbally, but behaviorally. And here's where psychology takes over. Behavior that carries no consequence gets repeated. Not sometimes, consistently. So when a boundary is crossed and nothing changes, that boundary doesn't weaken, it disappears. And once that happens, respect doesn't drop instantly. It erodes, quietly, gradually, until one day you feel the shift but can't explain it. Now let's talk about where men lose the dynamic completely. Over-investment. At the start, you lead, you initiate, you put in effort. And that's normal. But then something changes. Her energy drops, her effort becomes inconsistent, and instead of recalibrating, you compensate. You give more, you try harder, you increase effort to fix imbalance. But here's the mistake. In female psychology, overgiving does not increase value, it reduces it. Because value is not created by effort alone, it's created by mutual investment. When effort flows in one direction, it stops feeling intentional, it starts feeling expected. And the moment your presence becomes predictable, it loses emotional weight. This is a core principle. Scarcity creates value. Certainty reduces tension, and attraction exists between those two. So when she knows, no matter what she does, you will still show up the same way, you remove the need for her to invest. And when she stops investing, she stops valuing. Not consciously, but behaviorally. This is how the shift happens. You go from being chosen to being available. From being desired to being assumed. And once that transition is complete, respect starts fading. Now let's go deeper, because most men say they have boundaries, very few actually enforce them. A boundary is not what you say, it's what you're willing to lose. You can say, I don't tolerate disrespect, but if disrespect happens and your behavior stays the same, you just proved the opposite. That's not a boundary, that's a preference. And preferences don't shape behavior, consequences do. This is where conditioning happens. Every tolerated action becomes a new standard. Cancel once, okay. Cancel twice, pattern. Accept both, and now it's normal. And once something becomes normal, it stops being questioned. Now let's talk about subtle disrespect, because this is where most men fail completely. It's not always obvious. It's not loud. It's in tone, in interruptions, in small dismissive comments, in how she speaks to you when she's comfortable. Because comfort reveals truth. And here's the hard reality. How she speaks to you reflects how she sees you. If you ignore it, you're not being mature. You're lowering your standard in real time. Silence is not neutrality. Silence is permission. High-value men understand timing. They don't explode, but they don't delay either. They address it immediately, calmly, without emotion. And that does one thing. It resets positioning. Because respect is not negotiated, it's established. Now the most dangerous pattern of all, inconsistency. Warm, then cold, present, then distant, available, then gone. And instead of stepping back, you lean in, trying to restore balance, but psychologically you're reinforcing the instability. This is intermittent reinforcement, and it's one of the strongest emotional hooks. Unpredictability creates addiction, not connection. And the more you chase clarity, the more control you lose. Because now you're reacting instead of leading. She sets the rhythm, you follow it. And once that happens, the dynamic flips. High-value men don't chase mixed signals, they step back from them. Because attention is currency, and currency loses value when it's spent without discipline. Now here's the truth that changes everything. This was never about her behavior. It was always about your standards. Because the same patterns exist everywhere. Low effort, boundary testing, inconsistency. The only difference is what you allow. High-value men don't try to control outcomes. They control access. If alignment is there, they invest. If it's not, they withdraw. No drama, no persuasion. No chasing, because self-respect is not spoken, it's enforced. And once that becomes your baseline, everything changes. People adjust, energy shifts, dynamics reset. Not because you demanded respect, but because you stopped tolerating anything less. So understand this clearly. You don't get the respect you deserve, you get the respect you allow. If this gave you real clarity, subscribe to Her Inner Code, because this is where you learn female psychology on a deeper level. Not to control, but to understand, protect, and lead with awareness. Now I want you to do something important. Go to the comments and tell me what's one behavior you've been tolerating that you know needs to stop. Be honest, because awareness is the first step to change. And if you know someone who is still stuck in this exact situation, share this video with them. Sometimes one video is enough to wake someone up. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next video might be the one that completely shifts how you see relationships.